I'm your host, Steph, and I am podcasting to you from Dayton, Ohio. It is Friday evening. You may be able to hear all of the cicadas and the crickets. I'm pretty sure they're cicadas. They've been very active, but anyway, yeah, so it's Friday evening, August 30th. And this is chapter 45. Welcome back to another episode. It's been about 2 weeks. It's been a little less than 2 weeks since I last podcasted to you. We being those of us in the United States, we've got Labor Day. I'm always unsure if it's Labor Day or Memorial Day that is at the end of the summer, but either way, it is a 3-day weekend, which is amazing. Anytime it's a 3-day weekend or you get a day off of work is awesome in my book. So yeah, I've got a long weekend ahead of us, and I really hope to get some knitting and some reading and some hanging out with friends. So let's just jump into the knitting. So I'm talking in the royal we, as if me and the podcast are like two separate entities. I have not finished anything. I have not finished any knitting. I've not finished any projects, but that is not to say I have not been working on them. So the first thing I'll talk about is, just like last time, my threshold sweater. So it is in this bag. It is Daisy Girl & Company. It's got I guess they call it peekaboos, but it's got a clear front. I have talked about this bag so often. I love it. This is my favorite bag. I like it more than my fringe bags. Yeah, I said it. I like this bag more than my field bag, which is back there. Okay, so as I've stated plenty of times, this is the Threshold Sweater by Melanie Berg. I am knitting it out of Quince & Co. Chickadee in the Glacier colorway, and here is where I am. So the last time I showed you was right here on this little progress keeper, and I've knit all of this. That is quite a lot. So right now, so you do this for a certain amount of repeats to decrease, and then you knit again for a certain amount without increasing or decreasing, and then you start increasing again, and then you've got your split hem. So I'm actually at the decreasing. Wait, no, I'm at the increasing. You decrease first and then you increase. So I'm at the increase, which means I am so close to being done. So can I stand up? Like my outfit? Target and H&M, both. This is last season, and this is 4 years ago. I don't know. I keep my clothes for a very long time. This is a side note, but I try not to buy clothes a ton, especially now, but I legit have clothes that I wear that I had in high school. Okay, so yeah, you probably don't care, but here it is. So we are pretty much, okay, I like sat on the chair and that was worthless. Okay, so my hip starts here basically. So I'm essentially right at my hip right now. Or you could say my belly button. Yeah, that's where I'm at. So we've got, I think we go to where you keep, like, does this even matter to you? But this is where it hits me right now. This is where I think, like, for me, like a longer cropped sweater would be here, is where I would like it, because this is where I tend to wear skirts when they're higher up. Otherwise they're a considerable distance further down. So yeah, you probably did not care about any of that, but we're making progress. So let's move the progress keeper. How exciting. And again, this is a Sucre Sucre miniature progress keeper that is from a yarn club from Molly of a Homespun House. It was the Tim Burton. And this one's Alice in Wonderland. Which I will say, not my fave. I actually don't like it. Yeah, so I don't like that. I really like the original Disney one, of course. But the Tim Burton one, Tim Burton, his movies, like, I feel like anytime you watch a Tim Burton movie, within 5 minutes you're like, yep, this is one. And I just did not like that one. I'm so excited for this. I'm ready. I'm ready to wear this. I can't wait to wear it. Yeah, I'm excited. I know I've said that multiple times, but I'm ready to have another sweater in my wardrobe that I can wear. I'm pretty proud. I have 2 so far, and yeah, so then this will be the 3rd one. And guys, I skeined the yarns up. Let's just talk about that right now. The next sweater I'm gonna knit is the Soldotna, or Soldotna, however you pronounce it. Yes, it's not on my Make 9. I am going off on my own path, but I just really want it. I really want it. And the yarn that I'm gonna knit it out of is this. Okay, so these guys. None of these colors had colorway names. But the yarn dyer is Deep Dyed Yarns, and it is in the Still base, which is 100% superwash. It's her sport, so it's 220 yards for 100 grams, and she is based out of Nicholasville, Kentucky. This is what the ball band looks like. So this is, I believe this is where she normally puts the colorway down, and all 4 of mine don't have anything. So you've got this really pretty green, it's coming off more red. It's like a red coral, and then you have this beautiful color here, and then it's actually slightly pink. It's kind of like the brownish version that avocado dyes too, I think. So yeah. These will be it. I'm pretty sure the pinkish, the top color, is going to be the body, and then the rest of them I'm not sure what order I'm going to do. I'm going to definitely do some sort of swatch to decide. So this will be the next sweater, and I'm trying really, really hard not to cast on because I really like following my own rules of only one thing, only one type of project. So one sweater, one hat, one shawl, one sock, going at a time, minus designs. Designs are, they don't count. Which I have been working on that design. I'm further along, but I'm not going to show you because at that point you can see what the elements of it are. And yeah, so there's some progress on that. So then the last thing is this guy, which is not inside of its project. It fell and came out, and then I was too lazy to put it back in. But this is the other project that I've been working on, and this is the, get out of here. Ugh, all these ends. This is the On the Spice Market by Melanie Burke. Now, this did not get nearly as much progress, which I'd hope to have more. I hope to have way more because this is the project that I brought with me over the weekend, but disaster struck. Yeah, disaster struck in that I had finished off the last of this color that I was on, and I was gonna start this row here, which is a different color, and I go through my bag and I'm like, where the heck is this color? I count all the skeins. It was missing. And then I'm sitting there thinking, oh, I brought this into bed with me to knit, and I only brought the main skein in that other color. And then I didn't put it back in the bag. And then I took the bag with me, and I literally could not knit. I was able to knit 1.5 rows, and then I needed that other color. So that was pretty disappointing, but it's okay. I wouldn't have had a ton of knitting time because I'll talk about it later, but a lot of our time was spent at a fire, and I really just did not want my knitting to smell like extreme smoke from a fire, because I mean, I know I can wash that out, but while knitting this, you'd be constantly smelling it, and fire is not, like a bonfire is in my personal opinion, the next day is not a pleasant smell. So it probably worked out for the best, but still I would have liked to have been able to knit this more. Yeah, so I've mentioned these yarns multiple times at this point, but this is a gradient kit by Miss Babs, and then the solid gray is a Lolo Did It Angry Rhino. Yeah, so we've got those stripes here, and then we have the dots, and then I believe we go into stripes again to finish it off, but a different style or something. I am not good at it's not that I'm not good, I don't read my patterns all the way through. I look at the pictures, decide, yep, that's what I want to do. So yeah, we're almost to the point where it extends for the whole needle. Excited about that. And I mentioned it before, but oddly enough, the sweater has been my work knitting, and this has not been my work knitting. It's like I work on this when I'm at home, and then I work on the sweater. Honestly, I work both of them. I work on both of them, but the sweater surprisingly is getting more work because I bring it to work. What a great sentence. More work because I bring it to work. Yep. And that is in my French with my Ellie badge. And that's everything I've been knitting on. Nothing to add to Smaug's trove. I did purchase an advent calendar. This is weird. I thought I had purchased an advent calendar. I thought I had bought Sweet Sparrows because I watched Jacqueline Salem, Brooklyn Knit Folk. I watch her, and I really, really like the advents she opens up, and I really like the colors, and those are Sweet Sparrow. Well, she has a couple others, but she's done Sweet Sparrow twice, I believe 2 times, and I really, really liked the colors that she was doing, and I had thought that I bought an advent calendar, and then I was looking through my emails, and I could not find anything, and then I looked on my bank account, and I could not find anything. So it's like, did I dream it? Did I have such a vivid dream that I thought I bought this advent calendar and I didn't? Apparently, I think that's what happened, because I have no record of purchasing it, both in my email and on my bank accounts. So, yeah, so I did purchase an advent calendar, and I am really excited for it because it's a Court of Thorns and Roses based, which is one of my favorite series, and yeah, I'm excited. Sarah J. Maas she's got it's like, so you have the trilogy, and then, I'm sorry, but that novella, no, it needs to be unpublished. It was not good, and no. Read it if you want to, but you'll probably feel very disappointed like I did. Also, it was a novella hardback. I believe it was $18. Holy, oh my God, is that expensive? And I was just excited, and then I get it, and I'm like, what? I don't even think it's 200 pages. That's a lot of money for that book. I've debated on getting rid of it, but the completionist in me doesn't want to get rid of it because, you know, I've got the 3 and then that one goes, but whatever. Okay. So what do we talk about next? Forgot the next segment. It's a novel idea, which I wrote down my books. There's not a ton, and they are kind of grouped together. So I'll flash all 3 of these books because it is a series and it is manga. So it's A Silent Voice 2, 3, and 4. I liked some more than others. Again, the mother figure I don't like. I just don't like her. And you get a little bit more insight to her, I guess to empathize with her, but I don't empathize with her enough, I guess. And we're being introduced to more school friends from the past, so that's kind of interesting. I'm enjoying it, but I also feel like it's like angsty ridiculous. This is what happens when you read shoujo manga as an adult, because sometimes I don't like things that are so dramatic, because I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, understand your emotions. And I'm sorry if that's offensive, but it irritates me when characters are like, the end is here, so I'm just gonna close everyone off, I'm gonna be silent, and it really does irk me in scenarios like that. Also, I feel like so many books can be solved, like the major conflict can be solved if people just talk. And yes, our main character is deaf, but I mean, when I say talk, I mean communicate, not like literally only spewing words out of your mouth. Just simple things like that. Like, why does everyone have to keep secrets all the time? It in any book, it never goes well. And I feel like I'm bashing on this series. I'm enjoying it. I'm continuing on. One, because I am a completionist. I really don't like leaving books unfinished. And it's also by Yoshitoki Oima. Something like that. The next 2 books I finished. A Series of Unfortunate Events 12, which is The Penultimate Peril, and A Series of Unfortunate Events 13, which is The End. That's right, people. I finished the series. Now, I'm not going to recap what happens in either of these 2 books because it is number 12 and it is number 13, so you have many, many words to read before. But I will say, I liked this one more than I liked this one. And this one I gave a 3 out of 5. I would even lower it to 2.5. Yeah. I didn't like this because it got super preachy and pretentious at the end, and I felt like the author was just like trying to teach you the meaning of life. It's a kid's book, and me as an adult did not appreciate being told about, and it wasn't even like he was telling you anything. It was just like a lot of preachy words, and I didn't find this a satisfactory ending or a satisfactory wrap-up to the entire series. I don't want to give much away, but this doesn't give anything away. That's right, it doesn't answer almost any questions. All of those open things that are happening, you think there's gonna be a solution because that's what they've been trying to figure out. Nope. none of that. And I feel like I'm being very vague and not even telling you what any of those plot lines are or what any of those mysteries are. Just know I was pretty disappointed in it. I'm really hoping the TV show does a better job. Like, I am ready to just watch all those episodes now. I just finished The Vile Village, so next we should be going to the carnival, I believe. Unless it's the hospital. I think we go to the hospital next. Yes, I think so. The last book that I read these last 2 weeks is A Purely Private Matter by Darcy Wilde. This is the second book to the Rosalind mysteries. It's a period mystery, and the first one, I will say, I gave 3 stars, but the covers kind of like draw me, and so I saw the second one came out, and I'm like, yeah, I'll continue with that. And I really liked the second one. I liked it more than the first one. I gave it 4 stars. I thought the mystery was better than the first one. And I just really liked this one a lot more than I liked the first one. So if you have read the first one and you didn't really enjoy it, I would still recommend going to the second one. You don't really need to have read the first one. You can pretty much catch on to what's happening. They kind of allude to different things. Like in the first one, you get more background information about what has happened to Rosalind and why she's in the position that she's in, but they mention it in the second one. So, you know, you get like you get the basis. You don't get like a lot of the background information, but you do get some of that information. So if you want to skip the first one, you can. I wouldn't, because I don't like to go out of order, but the third one, I believe the third one's coming out next year. The cover's been released already. All right, so those are all the books. Speaking of books, though, right now, until Sunday or until Monday, Barnes & Noble is doing their hashtag book haul, or BN book haul, whatever they call it. Barnes & Noble is doing this sale. This is the second time, I believe, that they've done it. They did it last summer, and it's hashtag book haul. And I think they're tapping into, or they have been, but they're trying to get the booktubers and the bookstagram, the social media personalities, kind of like what we have with the knitting community, trying to get those book influencers to promote the books. But it's a thing. It's a book haul. It's just like a yarn haul. It's the same concept where you buy a bunch of stuff and then show people on the internet what you bought. So I think that's interesting that they label it as such. I go for it. I go in, I buy some books at 50% off, and they have a good mix of books. So, actually, why don't I just show you the books that I got? Okay, so here they all are. So there's 5 of them. The first one I bought is the only one that I've actually already read. Yeah, I bought a book I've read, but who cares? I loved it more than I thought I would. It is Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This is the paperback edition. I did not read the paperback edition. I read the hardback edition. But the second book to the series is coming out, I believe, in a week. And it matches this cover. I don't know if it's going to come out in paperback the first go around. I would kind of really love that, because then they would match. If you've never heard of Rainbow Rowell, please go pick up some of her books. Fangirl is my favorite of her books, and then the second one is Eleanor and Park. But what's interesting about Carry On is this is so meta. Carry On is the fan fiction in the Fangirl book, and the fan fiction in the book is based off of Harry Potter. So this book is the fan fiction written by a fictional character in the fangirl book. Yeah, so originally when this came out, I thought, that sounds weird. But it is so stinking good. It's got its Harry Potter vibes. That's done on purpose. But it is its own book. And it is glorious. It is so good. So you have Simon Snow, which I believe is this guy, and then Baz, I don't remember what his last name is, and Baz. They're roommates, but they're like enemies, and it's a love to hate relationship, or hate to love relationship, and it's just so good. I recommend reading it. It's also like as big as it is. What is this? So this guy's 517 pages. You'll fly through this. Very easy. Next book I got is Four Dead Queens. Apparently this is the Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. It's by Astrid Schultz. And, what is this about? I'm pretty sure it's like a bunch of queens trying to kill each other, maybe. I'm not sure. To be honest, I don't like to read synopses, but I saw it and I really like the cover. I love fantasy, so yeah. Should I tell you what each of them cost? This one was $5.50. This one was $9. Next one I got is Skyward by Brandon Sanderson. I've not read a Brandon Sanderson book, and this may be my first one, which is interesting because I wanted the Mistborn trilogy to be my first one, but I have a feeling I'm gonna love them because it's fantasy, and yeah. So this one, I do actually know what it's about. This is like a sci-fi book where our main character is trying to be a pilot. Her dad was a pilot, but then he did something wrong and caused everyone to like shun her. And I think she finds something. And yeah, so that's why she's allowed to be a pilot. And now that I'm looking at this, my version does not... I hate when books do this. Is this why it's on sale? So the cover doesn't match. So do you see that? And you can actually really see it here. Like this should all be on the back, but like the back is definitely starting right here. Oh, I hate it when books do that. This one was $10. Then I got this guy, the only one that is not a fantasy book. This is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. This book is a debut author, and it's a best-selling novel. It is blurbed by so many people. It is a Reese Book Club book. She's been picking winners. This book came out of nowhere and has sold so many copies. I don't know a ton about it other than I'm pretty sure it's a historical fiction. It's for fans of Barbara Kingsolver, who I have not read, but she wrote, I'm pretty sure it's the Poison Bible. And then Carolyn Russell, who I don't recognize that name. And I should clarify, when I say debut, it's her debut novel. She has published works, but they are nonfiction about her travels. And then this one ended up being $13. And then the last one I got is The Priory of the Orange Tree, which I've been wanting to read because one, it's massive. I love books that are so big like this. Oh, and it's a standalone, which is unique in the fantasy world. It's by Samantha Shannon, who wrote The Mime Order, which That one got mixed reviews, and I loved it. I really, really, really liked that one. So, I need to continue with the series, but I have a thing for, I like to read series that are finished or almost finished, and that one was supposed to be 12 books, and she decided to write this instead of continuing that series, so we only have 3, and I read the first one, I think back in 2014, maybe? Or maybe 15. I think it might have been 15. I was reading it at the airport, ignoring all of my coworkers because it was so good. Anyway, Priory of the Orange Tree is a fantasy novel that is giant, and it's about two groups of people, or two, we could say, countries, and they treat dragons differently in their history, and maybe there's a war. I would assume there's a war between them. Maybe. Either way, I'm excited for it. And it's blurbed by Laini Taylor, and so Laini Taylor did the Daughter of Smoke and Bone series, as well as Stranger Dreamer. And then we have Victoria Aveyard, who did the Red Queen series, which I have not read. And yeah, those are the books that I just spit on myself. Those are the authors. Okay. But on the blurb, it says, readers of Zencho, Naomi Novak, who I've read, and V.E. Schwab, who I've also read. So, excited. And if you cared to know, it has over 800 pages. And then this one ended up being this one ended up being $16. And all of those prices, mind you, were cheaper than Amazon. So if that says anything. I do tend to compare prices as I go around the store. If it's like $1 more or $2 more on Amazon, I will buy it at Barnes & Noble. Again, because I would like Barnes & Noble to stay. Yeah. Okay, so what have I been doing these past few days? Well, I went on a bachelorette party trip. We went to Hocking Hills. If you're not from the surrounding Ohio area, then you may not know what Hocking Hills is, but it is a park, and it's a relatively large park, and you can go like hiking. There's trails. There's multiple miles of trails. We ended up doing 6 or 7 miles, because we went on one trail, or we first went on a hike, and then we continued, so I don't know how, we went at least 6. It's called Old Man's Cave is what's there. It's really nice. Unfortunately, at the end, when we were walking back to the visitor center, there were a lot of sirens, and they were very, very close. And then we saw the helicopter come, so someone was life flighted away, and my friend, the bachelorette, the gal is getting married. She had sent me an article, and a man had fallen, and he did in fact die. So that's unfortunate, but there's a reason why there are signs for don't get off the path. And they don't have fences up or anything, and he fell to his death, and they don't elaborate, but they did say he was not on the path, which we saw people not on the path, and it sucks, it's sad, it's horrible, but you gotta make smart decisions. You need to be smart. And would I have gone off the path if my group had gone off the path? probably, but I don't think I would be climbing 77 feet off of the ground on a cliff or something. That's what they said he fell from. So yeah, that was a bit of a damper. There's like upper falls and lower falls, and we went to the upper and he was at the lower. So but we were right there when it happened, so that could have been a very sad ending. Yes, it is sad, but for us, we did not know until, days after. So we rented a cabin, and there was like a fire pit. So in the mornings, we'd wake up and you could go on the back porch, and just stare at nature. And that's why I wish I'd brought that other skein of yarn, because then I could have gotten a lot more knitting done. And then one night we did play games for hours, so I could have been knitting then too. I mean, I still had a lot of fun, but I could have gotten way more done on that shawl. So yeah, we did that. And then also that night, that Sunday night, Dave Chappelle had a benefit concert, and Stevie Wonder was there. I didn't get tickets because I got waitlisted, and then by the time I did have tickets, it was already past when it was starting, so the lines were horrendous, and I don't know if I would have been able to find any of my friends, and it would have just been me, so I ended up not being able to go. I watched a live stream. To be honest, I got bored because I did not recognize anybody other than Chance the Rapper and Stevie Wonder. So, but it was free, and it would have been amazing to see Stevie Wonder play Superstition live, because that is one of my favorite songs. It's like I have to like group songs because I love like metal and that sort of like pop, punk, metal, screamo stuff. But then I also really I love Superstition, and I really love Come On Eileen. Two songs that are not anything like what I listen to on a day-to-day basis, but yeah. Is that all I wanted to talk about? Oh, last thing. So, does anyone get really stuck on cooking books? I love going to the library and just going through all the cooking books that they have, and there's just something in me that just really wants to make everything inside of a cookbook, start to finish, everything. And I love cookbooks that don't have pictures in them. I love pictures with my cookbooks, but then I also love cookbooks that have 0 pictures. So you have no idea what you're making. You're just kind of following the instructions. I love that. And I would love to do that. I would love to do that with one of my cookbooks. And I actually have one. It's called Cooking in the South or something. I got it for free. I found it was a free book at a used bookstore that we have, and I'm I'll pick this up. It looks really old. It was published in the 80s, so we're at the point where it's almost 40 years old, and I really want to make everything in it just to try. And I don't know, does anyone else ever get that feeling where they just want to make everything in something? Oh, look, I got a bruise here. And start to finish. With coloring books, I like to color everything, and I always go in order. I can't just open a page and color. It really... Nope. If I want to color the third picture, I have to color 1, 2 before I can color a third one. But anyway, would that be weird if I did cooking videos? I'm not good. I don't like to measure. I like baking more, and I tend to not even plate stuff. I make it and then I just eat it in the kitchen because it's just me. So who cares if it gets to the table or not? Less things to clean, honestly, if it doesn't get to the table. But would that be stupid if I did a video of, I would call it the cookbook, and then it would be cover to cover? If that's stupid, let me know, but let me know nicely. If it's a good idea, you should do it with me. We could get the same cookbook, and we could make everything inside of it. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. It is almost 9 o'clock. I have work I need to do before I can go to sleep, and then I have the rest of the weekend ahead of me. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have any questions, let me know. I don't really feel like doing show notes because it just takes up time, and if no one reads it or gets any benefit from it, it just is a waste of time. If you have questions about anything, please leave a comment below, message me on my Instagram account. The Instagram is a Traveling Knitter Podcast, so follow me there if you would like. We have a Ravelry group. It's the A Traveling Knitter. And if you would like to follow my reading on Goodreads, it's just /LuluisCrazy. I know that's different, but that's my personal account nickname. I think that's everything. I hope you guys have a really good holiday weekend, if it is a 3-day weekend for you. If not, I hope you have a good weekend, and I will see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.